There we go. There we go. How
You
come I
live?
can all of a sudden hear myself? What'd you do? You changed
That's
something.
no, that'll be your sentence.
No, that's not my sentence. I didn't change nothing but go live.
Well, how could I do anything? I don't
It-
control any of the stream.
yeah, yeah I'm not talking about the stream. I'm talking about like I could hear it through the speakers. Like it's like I was getting feedback from your end. It wasn't like in
Of
my
course, just
ear.
blame
No, but
me.
you know
You know,
what? But
all
you
the way in England. Yeah, that's
look,
fine.
well, of course.
Of course.
come come now. The American excellence of my servers and all of my settings couldn't possibly be at fault. Couldn't possibly. Uh,
Oh my.
not this rig that does nothing but put out freedom. That's that's it's just awesomeness.
It
Awesomeness is
puts
what
out. It renders freedom, does it? Is that what it does?
Renders freedom 24/7. Let me tell you. Let me tell
With
you.
ray tracing, no doubt.
Yep, freedom and zero healthcare. That's
That's about
that's
right.
that's basically what I get.
Uh,
Uh, so um I was telling my brother the other day because he was like, he was like, I'm not as interested in like space stuff as you are, but he was like, sometimes I think like, why are we making things like the James Webb Telescope? And
why not?
it, well, he was like, because that's billions of dollars that we could actually put into like helping people here, making this whole
Mhm.
situation better on Earth. And I was like,
Well, he does have a point there.
yeah, and I was like, well, I hear what you're saying. I would definitely love some of that James Webb healthcare, but it is what it is, and it's cool to look into space and daydream that we're somewhere else. Not here, not here. Uh, let's
Oh boy.
see. Big Mofo Gaming, Sinnock, Jet Yeti. Can't be late when I had the stream open the entire time.
Certainly can't be late if you're here.
It's true. It's true. Um, uh, Another thing, you want to know something else that's really starting to, butter up my nipples?
Oh,
The
we're getting into that moisture zone. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's the fact that, hey, Topaz, like, I'm starting to get upset by like, whenever a show's about to come out, they always like promote it in marketing, which is good.
Hmm.
I understand that, but I'm getting sick of these clips of the She-Hulk. They
Yeah.
I swear they release like 10 different, like, to not exaggerate, I swear they release like 10 clips a day from this show.
Yeah, they might as well have just released an episode on Twitter by now.
Yeah, or something. Because
Yeah.
it's like you're showing all these pieces, and I mean, they already spoiled who's going to be in it. They gave you the whole.
Hmm.
Basically, they gave you the who, what, when, why, where, how. Like, they've given you all of it, and it's like it's not like these shows are like the classic 24 episode seasons. They're like,
Yeah, they're
they're
limited
like
series.
they're
Six
like
episodes.
eight, yeah, 6 to 8 episodes. I think they pushed it 10 at the beginning with the first line of Marvel's shows,
Mm.
but it's like, yeah, the show ain't that long. It's what I mean. I don't know about this show if it's going to be 30 minutes or if it's going to
In
vary. Like,
I reckon it's going to follow the trend of them being like 40 to 45 minutes, but there's actually only 30 minutes of actual stuff to watch because there's really long intros and really long credits to up the time. It's like
bro,
it was the
that
same. It was come on. It was the right. Okay, when thingy came out, uh, WandaVision. Like those episodes was like 35, 40 minutes long, but it's actually only like 20 minutes of actual episode because the intro was really long and the outro was ridiculously long to just up the runtime.
bro, let me ask you something real quick, just for the records. What is up with, first of all, the Disney Plus like fast forward option and like time skip is
It's
atrocious.
rubbish. Yeah, it's rubbish.
It is
Like
really bad.
every single streaming service should follow Netflix and how they operate, because their UI and how you can fast forward and timestamp and see the preview as you're moving back and forward through a scene is
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect. And why does everyone decide to go, we can do better, when in actual fact they're making it 10 times worse?
Do more with less. That's,
Yes,
do more, but with less. Do less.
yes,
Yeah, I mean, my brother and I have been complaining about the UIs of every other streaming service other than Netflix, which is the
yeah.
gold
Netflix is,
standard.
yeah, they've nailed it. Like they've
Yeah,
got the perfect piece of everything. Like the way that their content is laid out, the way that their trailers work,
yeah.
everything is spot on.
Hey, Karsten, don't leave off HBO Max. HBO Max is also garbage. Like, all of them are garbage. The thing that really gets me is Amazon
Their
and
UI is the
Disney,
worst.
all that money, and y'all can't get a good scroll?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
what is happening? What is
Hold on.
happening?
Let's just pause for a minute and just talk about Amazon Prime's UI. Like their menu system. Like they've just updated it here. I'm not sure if you guys have got the update as well, but they've gone more Netflixy with their UI. But even now, it's still atrocious.
It's still atrocious. It looks like it
Mm.
was created in DOS. Like, it's bad, man. Like, the only thing that saves HBO Max really is the fact that, like, they've kind of gone the Apple route where it's like they don't have a lot of stuff. They just try to push all of the quality into the forefront. So it's like you have no real reason to go through and search unless you really want to see their catalog.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
like, but yeah, as far as like the watching videos UI, Jesus Christ, like
Everything that Amazon does is in terms of Prime is just it's just horrible. Everything's horrible. The only thing that's pretty cool is the X-ray, but I mean it's not important. Like
Topaz.
I don't care what they do anymore. Every time they add an ad-free option, I cancel it. It looks like I'm back to downloading my movies like the old days. Yeah,
The,
because
the high
Disney just
seas.
Disney just announced their ad option now, haven't they?
Have
At least,
they?
yeah, well, at least for here, Disney's changing the way that they operate Disney Plus. So it's going to be like $8.99 how it is now, but that's going to include ads. And if you want no ads, then it's Disney Plus Premium, which is like $12.99. Yeah.
Sinnock. Yes.
How?
Sinnock says, I don't enjoy Amazon's mixing rentals with search results and not having a separate section for
Oh,
4K
yeah.
content. I don't know if you've seen Apple TV or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've got Apple
But
TV, yeah.
but they have like the stuff you can get, but it's like the
It's melded
smallest.
in.
It's the smallest section in the app. The next one is for
Yep.
Apple TV Plus with all the stuff they want you to buy, and it's like searching using the search option to find what
Horrible.
you can actually
It-
watch for what you paid
Yeah,
for.
it's horrible.
It
It's like when
reminds
you're on
me.
Prime. Like when you're on Prime and you're like, oh, I want to watch this show, and you search for it, and it's like, oh, well, it's there, but oh, you've got to subscribe to some other entity within Prime to access that content. Like it's not included with your
Bro.
subscription.
And then when you go to play an episode, if you go to play the episode, don't hit the wrong play button on Apple because that tries to send you to watch it through Apple TV Plus, which is separate from what you actually have. God, it's
So
terrible.
bad. It's just like why can't you do how Netflix does? Everything is included on the thing that you pay for. If you search for it and it comes up, you can watch it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like and I don't get me wrong, it's great that Prime and Apple TV offer all this extra stuff that's not bundled in with their Apple TV service, but separate it properly.
See,
So
this
that
is
you've got the Netflix experience within your own Apple TV thing. And if you want to look at all the other stuff, let that be a separate option. Don't mold it with your service.
Guys, we're going to start the episode, but I just want to point out Topaz Mackie said, yeah, they reinvented the same lame TV they replaced a few years ago. They lost me. I love my movies, but not that much. See, that is why I get so mad when people talk trash about Netflix, because people forget Netflix killed Blockbuster and TV. And now people are giving their like I don't give my money to any streaming service that does not put out their content in the way that I like. And the way that I like is the way Netflix does it. Where it's like, that's why you always hear me complaining about the release, like week to week TV releases on streaming services. Where it's like, no, put the
You're
whole thing
deliberately
out.
holding it back
Yeah.
just for marketing rights.
You're
and
deliberately
nothing more.
holding it back so that to hide the fact that somehow, even though Disney owns everybody, you still don't have enough to make your streaming service interesting outside of whatever show you're going to put on week to week in
This is the
in a
thing.
2-month block. I hate it. Anyway, but bro, we can't keep.
I
This
know,
is
I know,
this
I
is
know.
for the new podcast.
We need that. We need an audible brunch episode purely on streaming services because it's clearly we've got a lot to say about it.
Oh, I'll never run out. That's why I hate when people be sitting there saying, "But you know what? See, I'm trying to get back. You know what? Let's, guys, we're getting into the episode. Here we go." Welcome, everybody. It is the 89th episode of the Made in Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Mighty Vicious, here, as always, with my co-host, Jammy James, the Eternal. And I'm sorry we came on a little bit late because we got into the whole streaming thing.
We came on strong with that conversation.
See, that's the type of stuff that's going to be in that Audible Brunch podcast. I'll be starting after I move, which, by the way, just as a reminder for you guys, we got today and we got next Friday, and then I'm gonna be gone for like 2 weeks because I'm gonna be moving. I'm gonna be getting the new place set up, fresh shave. Yeah, I woke up this morning. I was like, you know what? I need the sun on my scalp. Okay, I need to get rid of that interference that's going on up there. I even thought about shaving off the goatee. My Ra's al Ghul is going on here, but I was like, nah, I'll keep that this time because, and also my wife hates when I shave it all off. She does not like it. She
You
used
don't like
to,
the baby face.
I remember the days when she used to be like, you know, your beard is scratchy. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I would shave it off. And then I got real lazy for like a year, for a pandemic, let's say. And I shaved it off. And she was like, where the beard at? No, I don't like that. You got to put that back on. I'm like, you can, just goes to serve. You can't win.
I just glue it on my face.
Just get patches going along. So yeah, get some of that solar energy. Yes, I need some of that solar energy because your boy been in a stressed out funk. But basically today we wanted to spend a little time talking about basically this mention of server updates for Media Molecule, these scalable servers and what they could mean, and also showing our appreciation for Abby Hepe. As you see,
Of course.
you got
Always.
you got the tweet here that I put up earlier this week, talking about what we think they're for. Now, I think y'all trolled me. I think y'all trolled me, is what I think happened in this. Okay, because even though there was a
poll for the audio listeners, explain what we're looking at here.
Okay, at the poll, you had 4 options for why this could be happening. The first was multiplayer is finally happening. They're setting up the system. Mm-hmm. Second option was PS5 update or PSVR 2 compatibility.
Also good choice.
Third option was leveling up to Dreams Plus, which in my mind I worded it weird, but it was more so just to, you know, what's coming of Dreams, which could be considered you
Dreams
know,
2.0.
a Dreams 2.0, we got to set up for that. Now, that could still be the case, but we'll talk about that in a bit. And the last one was Beach Corp needed space.
And it won.
And it won
Of
with
course it would.
38%.
Of course.
See, I thought it would just we would just throw it up there and people would be like, "Ha, that's funny." Now back to serious stuff. No, no,
No.
Beach Corp
Come on,
needed space apparently.
Yeah.
So go ahead and notify Media Molecule that John Beach has won and that he now gets 80% of whatever the new building is that they're moving into. So, need a mirror? No, just use the back of Mighty's head. No, man, you need to use this glaring bald spot that's right here.
It's the sweet spot.
Yes, the sweet spot. Let the sun hit off of that joint and refract off of the rings of Saturn and mix in with swamp gas. You got like 3 UFOs right there. Anyway, the point is that back to this poll. What really won? If you take out the Beach Corp.
Of course, it's multiplayer.
It's multiplayer. It's happening. I really thought people had tempered their expectations and would really go for the PS5 update and PSVR 2 compatibility with a 19.7, which puts it, third place. And people are like, leveling up to a Dreams Plus 2.0. Nah, 5.6%. That 5.6%.
So for those that haven't heard of the news, take us through what was actually said about this server upgrade before we get into the actual deep dive of what we think is going to happen, because there may be people that don't even know what was said. So take us through that first before we get into it.
Well, basically, to put it all down, because it was very quick, was just that they were going to be doing server updates, moving to scalable servers, and not really what it would mean for the future of Dreams, but that it was for the future of Dreams and what Dreams will become. That's pretty much it. So I was like, okay, well, what do we think it's going to be? So first I want to go through the comments I got on this. Because I didn't get many, but I got some where there were a few people who were just like, it's just updates. So let's start at the bottom. At the bottom, we have Gecko, who came through and said, have y'all never had issues with the Dream servers before? I personally haven't. Every time I think that it's a Dream server issue, it always ends up tying back to my own internet. Or my PS4, which was haunted by demons, in which case, I couldn't blame Dreams. I was like, yo, this actually, like, the rest of my hardware seems to be acting up, so I don't think that's MM. But people did come out and say they've had issues. So next, Cameo said, I just really want multiplayer, so I'm going to keep telling myself it's for multiplayer and hope for the best. Keep lying to yourself, but no, I'm just we don't know. But like, y'all know me, I've been getting tired of the multiplayer talk personally.
Yeah, it's getting old now.
But we'll see, because it does make sense that this could mean a lot of different things. Next, we had Enoch Root, which said, definitely Beach Corp doing evil things behind the scenes. Can someone explain to me what this Beach Corp being evil meme is? Because I see it's befuddling John as well. He's like, why does everyone think Beach Corp is evil?
There is this huge perception that they're evil. I think I did see some stuff before from like the Beach Corp Twitter, like, something about Beach Corp security or something. I don't know. It's been a while, so I'm not too sure why. I think it's got out of control though, like with it being an evil thing.
Huh. Well, what were you talking about in the chat about security? You said something about security.
Yeah, I remember quite a while ago, like when it was announced, like forever ago.
I do remember that. Sinnox said it's from a scene in Cavebot and Mega Penguin level.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. It makes sense. I had totally forgotten.
Yeah, it's been so long. But yeah, I think it's just grown from that, I think.
So next we had uh, Ugly Sofa Gaming said term scalable server is interesting. The optimist in me hopes it's groundwork for big push of users and not euphemism for a smaller, cheaper server to handle Dream's current player count. Note I have no clue about networks. May as well run off chicken bones and sage. I agree. That's how much I personally know
All right,
about servers. Like,
we'll get into scalability in a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, because you're the server expert of the two of
Oh,
us.
well, I'm no expert, but out of the two of us, I think I have a bit more knowledge on service. So yeah, we'll go into that.
All right, and then we had Alex Saber. It said probably one of the reasons Sony didn't push the marketing of Dreams yet, or was maybe or yet was maybe not ready to support a massive number of players creators yet. You need a storage for all creations saved online and quick access service to stream them without loading time would increase. The biggest scene I managed to create were around 30. What is mo? 30 mo? 30 mo. Okay, we'll just take it 30 mo. What takes the most
All right.
data is importing audio. It's harder to compress without losing quality. Let me see here. Without you losing quality, the loading time depends on your connection X, the Dream server X number of people trying to access the server. Wow, that was a lot.
That was
Uh,
yeah, that was a mouthful.
yeah, maybe Alex Saber should have been on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna. I mean, maybe that's it. I mean, we'll see. And Notre Dame said might be something as simple as crappy servers and move to a better ones.
Yeah, it really could be, but it's the scalability that interests me.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's where we're at now. Basically, that's the sum up of what everyone put for the tweet. Now, Jamie, what do you think it's for?
I think that they are gearing up for a bit of everything, to be honest with you. I think they're gearing up for multiplayer. I think they're gearing up for the PS5 update, PSVR2 compatibility, even though PS5 update in PSVR2 wouldn't necessarily justify a server update that much, I don't think. It depends on their infrastructure, and obviously I've never seen their infrastructure, so I couldn't really comment on it too much. But um, I would say they're gearing up for more players. They're gearing up for multiplayer, which in turn means more players. And it's the scalability that interests me because scalable servers, from a business perspective these days, usually means that you're moving to a cloud-based infrastructure. So you would go to Google or Microsoft Azure or even Amazon now. They have these infrastructures in place. So if you're a business and you intend to have exponential growth coming in, rather than have an on-site server that's limited towards the capacity that you have in your infrastructure, you can move to a cloud-based option by going to one of these services like Microsoft, Google, or whatever. And they just have these absolutely massive server farms. And you basically pay a subscription model per month to rent a space within that server farm. And it's completely scalable by you can literally log into your online portal for that server space and you can just upgrade it on the fly. So you can just scroll the wheel for the RAM, add more RAM, you can add more memory, you can add more graphics in power, you can just change everything with these scrolly wheels, and all it does is change the amount that you pay per month for that amount of infrastructure. And all it does is just unlocks that part of the network frame to your business. So from a modern perspective, that's what scalable servers means. It's you're renting these spaces in a cloud-based infrastructure. But it also means that you can build your own scalable server as well. So you can have a massive server room if they wanted to and upgrade that and have all of these racks prepared. And then all they have to do is push a button to order these new resources, lock them into the server to add more capacity. But from a gaming perspective, I would say that's more of a risky move, and I would say that moving to a cloud-based infrastructure is much more efficient because they have all the live data analytics, all the user login details. They can see the trends of when people are logging in, when they're logging out, how many more people are logging in per week, per month, per day. And with a cloud-based infrastructure, they can literally upgrade that on the fly. So from my perspective, I would say they are moving to a more cloud-based infrastructure in terms of their server management to make it not only easier for them, but the scalable options of being able to change how much server resources they need, dependent on how many players are coming in once this new update comes through. But Sony might have this infrastructure already in place. I mean, they're an absolutely huge company, and they might have their own bespoke cloud-based infrastructure where they can just upgrade their resources as and when they need. So, but either way, it's still the same thing. I think they're going for a cloud-based infrastructure so they can just up or move down the time frame as and when they need, dependent on how this update goes.
First and foremost, welcome first time chat, Grit Stash. The biggest problem I have is when I'm trying to work on things, everything is kept in one long list. I know I could make a collection, but I think we need a more grid based interface, if only for our own creations. I,
100%.
I would agree. I would agree. Now, back to you, Mr. Oh, I just, I know a little of this. Bro, that's like the longest you've talked ever on the show.
In one go.
With confidence.
I
With
mean, it's
confidence.
what I do for work, so I do know this stuff a little.
Jet Yeti says, "Can you repeat it?" He didn't get it. He did. Well, I mean, yeah, that sounds. I feel like just in your breakdown of what it means or what it could mean to go into scalable servers, it does sound like they are just preparing for what will come. But something that came up when you just broke it down and what other people have said in comments and stuff is just that, prepare for an influx of users. This seems to go against some of the sentiments of where we are as a community in dreams. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we were having the conversation because of Noder talking
Mm.
about feeling that the 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 user base is dropping away. Now
Well, I mean, you could also use it for another option as well. Scalable doesn't always mean just going up. It also means you can reduce the capacity that's needed. So, if Media Molecule have this on-site server that's costing them like 10, 15,000 pounds of resources that they have to manage, and hardware doesn't last forever, these fans are going to break, the hard drives are going to go down. All of these things have all these dependencies, and they've got to have a backup as well because every business does. You can also look at it at the point of, okay, well, if Dreams is not going to grow anymore and they're going to be working on the next project, they need to post where these resources are going to go if they're going to keep Dreams alive. So let's just say, right, Dreams is done now. We're moving on to the next project, but we want to keep the community live on the system because it's a live game and it requires an internet connection and server access to run all of these different things. They could just outsource Dreams as a whole, where it's server based at the minute, to one of these providers like Google or Amazon or Microsoft. So it's isolated in one section away from their server so they can start working on whatever else they're going to be doing. And the Dreams community can still be active because it's outsourced and it's extremely cheap to do. It's not expensive. That's why all of these businesses now are moving to these cloud-based infrastructures, because these companies are able to offer such a cheap price versus having your own server. So it could go either way.
once again, you seem to be nervous. Like, I mean, it's what you do and why I said you should take over, but you were like, I don't know anything about yeah, it is, But so, I guess it has to be something to push for the future, though, right?
I would say that it most certainly is, yeah. I mean, Dreams has a 10-year plan, and we're obviously not through that 10-year plan yet. It seems like they are completely and utterly devoted to Dreams and its future. I mean, who knows, they could be working on something else, but in my personal opinion, I think they are fully devoted to the Dreams project and what it could potentially be. It's basically everything Media Molecule has ever wanted to create. I mean, you've seen with Little Big Planet and Tearaway, there's these little pieces in those games, and with Dreams, it's like the whole picture of what they've always wanted to do. So I can't see them personally moving away from Dreams yet. I think we've got a long way to go yet, and I think they're going to improve it dramatically. And this scalable server thing that's happening is a positive thing.
Do you think they're anticipating an influx in users?
It's hard to say. I mean, it would make the most sense because the more users you have, the more resources you need, the more people that's creating, the more space you need to store all the stuff that people's creating. So I would say that a user influx is, in my opinion, what they're expecting, and that's why we have the scalable server option there because you could have all of these people come in. So they've got to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on their own infrastructure to be able to capacitate these new users. But as we've seen with Dreams, it goes up and down all the time. And those people could easily leave once they realize that, oh, I can't just drag and drop and make a game in 10 minutes, so I'm out. So with a scalable option, they have the infrastructure there to capacitate all of the influx of users without spending a fortune. And if those users drop, they can just easily drop down the amount of resources they need back to the original amount that we've already got at a much cheaper rate than managing their own server anyway. So for them, it's a win-win. Moving to a cloud-based infrastructure, regardless of scalability, even if they stayed at the same amount of users that they are now, I would probably say 80% confident that it's going to be cheaper to run a cloud-based infrastructure than their own local.
I take it all as a sign of everything's going
Mm.
well. That's
I
how I.
agree. I,
That's
I
how,
think their plan is working of whatever it is they're cooking up, like their plan is in full force and they're just preparing for whatever it is they're doing and they're quite confident about it.
every time I hear about the plan, whenever someone proposes a plan, I always have the comments that I see across Twitter, across Reddit, where people are like throwing out the idea that they don't believe MM is transparent enough. And I think it gets us into the conversation of like, yeah, the internet has become this thing where we can be in contact with each other at all times, but do we know the plan, and do we need to know the plan? Is it a need?
Mm.
It like
We
because
can,
I feel
I mean,
like people are thinking that they're not being transparent out of a withholding of information that
no, I would
they feel like they're owed in a way.
no,
It's like
no one,
I need to know because I've
no.
bought into this.
No
That
one's owed anything. You're not paying a subscription service to run this. You've paid your 19.99 or even 5.99. I mean, Dreams has been on sale for God knows how long. Like, you're not entitled to anything. You're not paying a fortune into Dreams' infrastructure to be owed that information,
yeah,
for
you're
one.
just you're just
Yeah,
if you have it, continue
great.
enjoying it.
Yeah,
That's
enjoy it.
the
And whatever
product.
comes of it, comes of it. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ, they probably won't even charge you for when this massive update comes out. So let's be grateful with how the way Media Molecule runs for a second. But secondly, Media Molecule learnt their lesson with being too transparent. They announced all this stuff like multiplayer is happening. If you've noticed, their Trello board has completely changed. They're not as transparent with that anymore, and that's because people just badger them constantly about these things that they've posted or if they've talked about in a video, and it just becomes too much for them. I mean, they've got all this work to do, and then if you have everybody in the community keep badgering for information, it's stressful and it just doesn't help with the development of what they're doing. So sometimes not being as transparent is better for everybody because for one, it sets the expectations of the players, and two, it gives Media Molecule the creative freedom to experiment and find what's right with Dreams without having to feel obligated to keep informing the community on its progress.
Yeah, I mean I agree completely. Um, so the only reason when I saw that first day of Dreamscom where I was like, okay, this could be multiplayer, and the only reason is because they had Abby come out and she's the head of live
Mm.
service.
Mm.
Is Dreams a live service currently? Because I feel like it doesn't fit the
It
live
doesn't
service
it
like
doesn't fit the category. It's in a gray area. Like Dreams is a live game. Like you need an internet connection to use Dreams. Like you have to access any of the Dreamiverse and the assets and stuff. You need to be online for it to work. It's a community-based game, so it requires that functionality. As far as
go.
live service, I wouldn't I wouldn't put it in. I wouldn't put it in that category. I don't think it doesn't fit what live service is.
But we know that's where it's going
Yeah, that's
because
where it's
that's where
going, but
Sony
it
is
isn't.
going.
Yeah, but it currently isn't in that category. I would say at the moment,
Hmm.
it's in a weird gray area. Like it's just a live game, but it's not live service. I would say.
Yeah, Ninja says we are the service. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, he ain't wrong.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So I guess, where I go with it is, like I said, it's for me. The news itself is good news
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
the fact that they're getting a bigger studio, all
Yeah,
kind of,
everything's growing.
yeah, it's still growing, which I think should put some people in the community at ease, is more so what I'm
Yeah,
getting at.
I
Because
mean,
it doesn't seem like anything's going away anytime soon.
no. I mean, if you want security that Dreams is currently still, their priority and that things is going well, just keep tabs on their job openings on their website. They're constantly putting out new jobs for infrastructure and multiplayer and live data analytics and all of these type of jobs that all circle back round to live service and multiplayer and a big jump for Dreams. So just keep an eye on what they're posting in their jobs on their website because that is truth testament to what they're attempting to do.
Yeah.
And I keep on it regularly. I check it at least once a week to see what new jobs are being posted. Also because if something shows up, I'll take it if they'll have me. But
Well,
it
if they have anything having to do with servers, you should definitely jump on that pretty soon. Pretty soon,
but
quick.
but yeah, I mean, everything that they're posting and they're advertising for is very promising for Dreams, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with it soon.
And we have another first time chat, Zaban.
That is
Zeba.
the bomb. Zabar
Zeba.
21.
Zeba. I have to imagine it's multiplayer, but I agree completely with you guys. They don't owe us anything. Plus, in my opinion, it's best they don't. Not only is it beneficial for them, it's also beneficial for us. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
that's how I see it. I just, like I said, it's just the fact because Abby didn't start out, I don't believe. Like, I think at one point she was in the same team with uh, the social media team
Mm.
with Tom and
Yeah, the community team.
yeah, the community team, and then like she kind of moved into the background from like when we talked to her on the show, and yeah, just seeing that live service thing and knowing the plans of Sony, it really just stood. I'm like that.
All the puzzle pieces are fitting together quite nicely, aren't they?
Yeah, it just feels like this could be it. But I don't want to get anyone's hopes up because I don't want it to be talked about on the show for the next 3 months. So
Well, Will and James talked about it.
they said it was happening
They said it
tomorrow.
was happening.
So Carson says Abby was community manager. Yeah. And, looking back through all the things she's worked on, I'm glad to see her in this position. Because, we already talked about she worked on Titanfall. She's also probably the more community aspect, or she was G4 as, as well as other things. But, yeah, I mean, with Sony's plan to have how many by next year? How many live services?
Oh
Isn't
God, it's
it?
like 20 something, like 25, I think it was.
See, I thought it was. I think it's like 15 by next year and 25 in the next 3 or something
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know. It's a lot
So
though. It's a
it's a
lot.
lot, but yeah, I see it shifting, and I mean, I think we're about to put into view all of the things that have been speculated about, and whether or not they'll actually like pan out the way the community thinks, because there are tons of people who are like multiplayer needs to happen as soon as possible or it's a dead platform. I think those people need to chill out a little bit, but people like that's the step, like
Mm.
that's the thing that puts it on the map. And I don't know. The first thing, because I still don't see that. I still don't see it happening for at least another year or two, personally.
Oh yeah, I mean, even like with this whole scalable server thing, like that can take a lot of time for a company of their size.
Yeah.
If I just started up a company, like a tech company or whatever, and I needed a scalable server, I could set it up in 10, 15 minutes. But for someone of their size, and especially if they are retiring their own server and not using that as a backup anymore, and they're relying completely on whichever provider they're going for their backups and their resiliency, that's
Yeah.
going to take a long time. There's a lot of contracts that need to be signed to assure that this data is safe and it's not going anywhere. So, yeah, it will take a while.
That update or going back to the option of updating to prepare for a PS5 version as well as, you know, compatibility with PSVR 2, which I still can't believe that I'm not hearing it pushed in areas
Well,
for VR. In terms of VR.
What you think that the server upgrade is for VR?
No. I think it's going to be part of it. Like I said, I think the whole idea of a PS5 update has to come with the PSVR 2
Oh, 100%.
update.
Yeah, that's
like it
combined
has
as
to
one
be
entity.
as kind of like a one thing because there's just changes that are going to have to be made. I threw away my motion controllers.
You threw them away. As devotion to PSVR 2, you've already threw away the old stuff.
No, it came down to I can't use them. Like, being that I can't use them because they don't work in any room of my house. I just, like, my we're packing up stuff for the move, and my wife walked in with them. She looked so sad. She looked like she knew that they had run their course, and she was just like, "Do you still want these?" And I was just like,
"No."
It took a minute. It took me like a good 5 minutes while she's sitting there holding it, like, make up your mind. But I was just like, no, because I'm not going to attempt them again and be disappointed.
No, I mean, not when VR 2 is this close,
Well, I mean, we don't know.
I'm saying Q1, 2023.
Moving without moves. Indeed. And so, I don't know, like, with it being however close it turns out to be, because we don't really know yet. Yeah, I had to get, I was like, I'm done with them. I can't trust them. You ever had that piece of technology that, like, lets you down and then you never trust it again?
Mm-hmm. My work laptop. Yeah.
Your work laptop? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Let's see. Zebot said, one thing I will say, I hope if multiplayer is coming out, I hope that they picked a few creators to start creating before the update comes out. Although there are players like me that made online multiplayer levels and have them ready to go, I don't think that's enough because it needs to be tested first. I probably have so many bugs, and I think when new people get on for the first time, they need a smooth experience to keep them coming back.
Of course. I mean, I would expect them to create their own IP as well within the Dreamiverse. That's going to be a multiplayer game, and I would no doubtly believe that they would have handpicked a few of the pop creators to work with to make some stuff.
Okay. Well, all I'm saying is those moves betrayed me. Y'all don't know what I went through to get them. Yeah. And yeah, I just think the camera.
It's just not a good setup. I mean, the actual technology itself is decades old to begin with. I mean, like, when PSVR, the original one, came out, it shouldn't have even been using that technology in the first place. They was just recycling the tech that they had to test out VR with console and see how it would go. What they currently are doing with VR 2 is what should have been done first.
I had always hoped that Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo, being that they kind of, I don't know, they kind of brought out the whole idea, or not the whole idea, but they were the first to go with, like, the motion controls as their use. Okay, they didn't pioneer. I mean, VR has existed since I was a wee lad.
Bro, they were doing VR with the Virtual Boy all the way back when. Like they was one of the first gaming companies to actually try it and give it to consumers. Albeit it was terrible, but they was the first to really push it.
I mean, it still existed before them, but for consumers and not just, your Las Vegas arcade that had the big VR setup.
Yeah,
Okay, I get it. But I had always wondered how come none of them bought Leap Motion. Did you ever see Leap Motion?
Yes, I did. I believe someone did buy Leap Motion. I don't remember who it was though, but someone bought them up.
Because I always felt like if anybody
I think it was Microsoft. I'm more sure they bought Leap Motion for their HoloLens project.
Is that?
I could have, but I'm more.
I'm
sure
not going to.
I'm gonna check.
You should check though while we're talking about it.
I am.
Because I always felt like Leap Motion was like the thing that I saw 8 years ago now, where I was like, they seem to have an understanding of like doing this where you don't have to have like. You can have the headset and not have to have like a hand component. But
I mean, back in the day, Leap Motion was doing amazing things with what you would be able to do with your hands. But I mean, we even have that on the Oculus Quest 2 now. Like just with the cameras alone, like you have full hand tracking and you can see it all. It's not great, but if you just upgrade those cameras to a really high quality one that is able to pinpoint accuracies on your hands, you can do it without Leap Motion.
Well, I was just talking about the technology, but back when when Leap Motion was the stuff, I was like, they should be bought up immediately. And I don't know, you're checking down to see if they were, but it just seemed like it was a thing that, like, it's like one of those things that you see and you're like, yo, that's really, really dope. And then you just don't hear about it for 8 years.
They were bought out by Ultra Haptics for 30 million, I think it was.
That's not bad for 4 dudes. Like, but I mean, I don't know if they actually are potheads, but whenever I watched the stuff on them, it was like 4 potheads in San Francisco, like in one apartment, just doing magic. And it's like, yeah, 30 million's good. Them boys can go take a.
Yeah, they can.
Leap Motion was acquired by Ultra Leap. So
yeah, Ultra Haptics is now Ultra Leap. They've changed.
That's funny. So anyway, so what else do we want to talk about as far as the servers? Because like I said, today was not going to be a long episode, and we kind of started off with like a 10-minute buffer complaining about streaming UIs. But I don't know. What is it? What does Dreams look like in a year?
That's an interesting question. It all depends on what Media Molecule does, I think, because in terms of like
you're already chumping out on this question. I'm not talking about your Media Molecule for the moment. What does Dreams look like in a year?
All right.
Tell me your secrets.
I'm not Media Molecule, by the way.
You are right now.
I would say that they're still prepping. I think they're at like the end of their prep for this new launch of whatever it is they're doing. Because I still think we're at least a year away from seeing any of the benefits of what they're currently doing.
So we're
right at the end.
We're transitioning out of the beta for Dreams.
Yes. And I think that it will definitely come with the PS5 update. 100%. They need to transition. God, I would love to access the DualSense fully for my game Pitch Black. Like, adaptive triggers, the haptic engine inside that controller. I could do so much sweet stuff with that. The
shameless plug DLC. I'm just messing with you. Guys, if y'all have not gone and followed It's Jammy James on Twitch. You should do it to view what he's doing with Pitch Black. I tried to tell y'all that he was working on some great stuff, and nobody seemed to believe me, but now he's getting that love on Twitter, so I love to see that. I love to see that. He's doing great stuff. Now, let me ask you something, because I feel like you cheated me on that question. I feel like you didn't. You still took it from the I'm not Media Molecule standpoint.
Okay.
So, but I'm saying you are medium molecule. So what I see
Oh,
in a
you're gonna get
year.
a real corporate answer if you try to make me media molecule. You do know that, right?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna get
I
a
do want
real
to avoid the
PR.
PR paperwork. You know. Um let me go see what chat's talking about before I go into if I was medium molecule. If everyone loved me. Yeah, that's what. Let me talk about what happens if everybody loved me. Um, let me see here. We have, I think, beyond multiplayer, PC and PS5 cloud functionality could even lead to mobile since we're seeing all these daily games. Yeah, wasn't Elko was playing Four Seasons on his Stream Deck? I believe he posted a picture of that. Like,
I have not seen that.
yeah, he put it. I think he put it up like 2 hours ago because what's her name, Claire, who used to work at MM. She was talking about she just got it, even though she's about to do like a 24-hour stream and it was getting in the way. That she got her Stream Deck delivered. But let me see here. Dreams next year. New text gadget upgrade makes every other tool superfluous. Yo, that text gadget is not a text gadget anymore. It really isn't.
No, it
It
really
is.
isn't.
It
No,
needs to be
no.
renamed. That is going to be an update within itself. Just renaming that widget that no longer. It's no longer what it's supposed to be.
It's the advanced text gadget.
Great stream to catch if you can only listen. Lol. That's the thing. Like, we'd love to do more video stuff, but we do stay away from it because, you know,
It really interrupts the audio version.
yeah, it really interrupts the audio version, and I don't want those who can only listen in to feel left out. You know, even though there's nothing keeping them from, the shameless plug of Mighty Vicious YouTube. You can check it out all the time, anytime. Anyway, point is that
Subscribe.
like, subscribe, hit the bell, do it. Anyway, so I told y'all I was gonna start trying to weave it in a little bit more, put it in a joking thing. Anyway, y'all got me over 300 subs, so I'm just so. I know that's not a lot. I'm not saying
It's more than me. I mean, Jesus.
I'm just saying it's not for a lot of people in the community who are pushing those thousands and all that stuff. I know it's chump change to y'all, but I appreciate it.
I don't think I could cope with thousands of followers. Like, if the chat was just going, like, oh my god, I don't think I could cope with that.
Topaz said I was referring to the Pitch Black stream when he said great stream to catch if you can only listen. Lol. But it still applies to what we were talking about. Look, if I'm medium molecule, what I would want by next year, multiplayer, if it's possible, yeah, y'all, there's gonna be a ton of people happy about that. But what I would love to see is I would love to see them secure an outside third-party IP for a game specifically in Dreams.
Ooh, now that is interesting.
See, that's what happens when you don't cheat the question. Well,
I'm Corpo. I have to protect.
Dreams runs in browsers and can be accessed directly through indreams.me.
Wow.
What, are you trying to make it WOMP? What is that new thing that Saku went to do? Is it called WOMP 3D?
It is WOMP. Yeah, WOMP 3D.
Yeah, WOMP. Yeah.
That's made me think. That comment has made me think of something quite interesting, though. But let's go through what you think as Media Molecule first, and then I'll jump into that.
I think that there needs to be an acquisition of a third-party IP that they get the rights to make, and that will exist within Dreams as a full game, but will have a team from Dreams working on it. Maybe it would be released to like the Ancient Dangers or something like that. But it would be a known IP.
So, follow-up question. What would that IP be?
earthwormjim.
Oh, wow, you were prepared.
Yes. earthwormjim done it would be perfect. Because it's something that I think you have the chance of acquiring. because no one's using it because they're all idiots. Sorry, I get in the mood when it comes to Earthworm Jim and the fact that I haven't seen it in a decade. But calm.
Yes.
Yo, they're still making great Metal Slug games, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I think Earthworm Jim would be the perfect thing. It's something that no one else is obviously trying to use for whatever reason that could be. And I think it's something that could be made extremely well. And I would love for them to do it and then have Mittermac jump in as like for the character animations. Just steal them from the community.
The art style alone of Earthworm Jim is something that they could pull off really well in Dreams.
Yeah.
They could do a whole reboot. Obviously, the game's quite old, but they could do a whole reboot, but retain that original art style, but in a modern way. Like, they could really be fancy with that. That would be nice to see.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I was thinking today because I always think about Earthworm Jim, because I think of it as an action-adventure RPG, and it just blows my mind how you could have an IP that was that beloved just disappear off the face of the gaming landscape. I just don't understand it, but I was like, who would I want to make the next Earthworm Jim? And I actually was thinking about it today. Like earlier this morning. And the thought was, like, if I had my choices, it would come down to Medium Molecule or Double Fine. Oh, especially with what Double Fine did with Psychonauts 2.
Yeah, they could definitely pull it off.
I'm like, these two companies could do it, but then I was like, which one do I love more? And that's Medium Molecule. Medium Molecule is the only choice. I mean, it's the only choice we have. So I was like, that would be awesome. Because everyone keeps saying, like, we have to go back. Now, we've been doing this for 89 episodes, and I listen to what everyone says. And I go back and look at chat through VODs and everything, and in my comments and all that stuff, to see what everybody thinks and try to create a narrative of how Dreams is going from when we first started the podcast to now.
Yeah.
And I kept coming across the fact that people keep thinking that, now, people may not say this out loud, and I think everybody, well, they may not say it with fervor, but how many times it's come up that people believe that great games exist within the community. These are facts. Mm-hmm. They exist within the community, but that it's going to take something bigger to get people to walk through the door to see all of those things. Mm-hmm. And it seems like everybody's skirting around this thing I just mentioned, but if it's going to take some big thing, then you have to look at how people build their communities, how people build their hype. I mean, just like we exist because there is a Dreams community that likes to listen to us speculate. Well, some of them like to listen to us speculate about what's coming for Dreams, you know? And I feel like people are saying, like, you're going to need to go to that extra thing. And what's that extra thing? For some people, it's multiplayer. When I try to put business PR wrinkles into my brain, all I can think of is, well, do what Elka did. And I say this not throwing any shade, but Elka created a boom within his social media simply by saying, I really, yeah, but I mean, as a whole, but also it's like, when he streams, he has more viewers than anyone else. And he'll tell you, as he did in many of the conversations I see online on Twitter, which is, it's because he has this IP that so many people love that
they're doing nothing with.
Yeah, that they're doing nothing with, and he really wants a game. So he decided to make it. And Dreams gave him the opportunity to expand on that into what the Elka Empire is now. Well, I see it no different for MM. They have us. But what's going to make people throw away everything they thought they knew about dreams and give it a second look? What's to
Well, I
make
mean,
it what's to make it so they can't help but take a second look if they already had it and gave up?
a good example of that is actually something that MM did. Like, do you remember when they did their stream with that guy from Insomniac to make a Ratchet and Clank inspired game? Like, do you remember when that was announced? Like, let's talk about the announcement of that. That caused a lot of fire. Like, a lot of people was interested in that. A lot of people outside the Dreams community saw that because, again, it's a beloved IP. A lot of people love Ratchet and Clank, including myself. And I remember watching that stream, and when it first started, the numbers was climbing a hell of a lot more than what normal MM streams do. Once people realized what it was, it dropped back down again to sort of the normal levels that we expect to see from MM. And that's because people's expectations were thinking they're going to be creating like, a Ratchet and Clank game in Dreams, but really it's just what it was. But that's enough to understand that bringing an IP into Dreams that people are already aware of and love will bring those people in, because we've saw it when they did that Ratchet and Clank stream. So what you're saying is completely entwined with what they've already done, but if they just did it your way, I think it would definitely work.
I mean, yeah, that's I that would be what I mean. There's tons of things they could do. As I told y'all before, I would love to see someone in Dreams, even if not Media Molecule, attempt to remake Jumping Flash from PlayStation 1. You can now play it with the new PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
You can now play Jumping Flash. And I feel like that game's perfect to be brought out in Dreams and remade, especially that controller scheme. I don't remember it being that bad, but that's the thing with memory. When I was a young buck, well, youngish, it was, Jumping Flash has always been in my mind as like great stuff. Like it's like amazing. But PlayStation 1, you also had, I wanted the PlayStation 1 so bad that I was literally having dreams about Ballerina Toshinden. I needed it in my soul.
Yeah.
Hold up, we've had a
Yeah, we've got a lot of chat going
Bushido
on.
Blade was the jam. Oh my god, I love that game. Oh shit. Char, I honestly think we might not see multiplayer on PS5 update until 2025, 2026. False.
Oh, no, they're not going to wait that long.
Well, no, wait. Just the PS5 update? I feel like it has to drop with the PSVR 2 because there's no way PSVR 2 is going to drop and you're not going to be able to use that for Dreams. But maybe it'll be split into multiple things. It won't just be one update, maybe. I guess that's what he's saying.
I mean, it could be two updates. PS5 first, then, yeah.
Yeah, Ninja says War Garble is basically the modern day Neverhood to me. I could go with that. Not good. Intrattack out. Honestly, MM could even attempt an LPB game. Sackboy: A Big Adventure probably could have been made in Dreams. Yeah, it could have been. Yeah, actually.
I mean, we've already seen people that are making a Little Big Planet game in Dreams, and it looks absolutely fantastic.
Jet Yeti says, yeah, I see, or I say that as well, but the thing is, nobody really takes Dreams as a serious tool, which sucks. I don't think you're correct. I'm going to come out and say I don't agree.
Justification?
I think that's a narrative. Now, it's a narrative we've discussed, but you see an influx whenever someone puts out, because you have to look at it. People see people's work through social media. Mm-hmm. That's basically how it works. When someone like Martin or oh god, I'm going blank. When any of the top creators put out a still life, a character model, a design, something they're working on, you see an influx from people who aren't liking it, that aren't in the Dreams community. Because when it comes down to it, no one cares what you made it in,
Yeah,
unless
they
you're
just see
trying.
the end result.
Yeah, it's a plus and minus of being an artist. It's like we talked about before, where people see the final product, but they don't know everything that went into it, which is why sometimes art can be undervalued. It's like, hey, just draw me this, and it's like you don't know what goes into it. They're like, yeah, but I'll give you $10.
Yeah, because that covers 17 hours of work.
At least. Try multiplying that by like 3. I don't care how fast you work. You're starting from scratch, you ain't moving quick.
But not only that, but it shows that people are still interested in Dreams, even though people don't play it, because you see these comments all the time of people saying, "When is the PC port happening? Bring this game to PC, PC this, PC that." So these PC players probably aren't playing Dreams; they're just waiting for the PC release. But it shows that they're still following what's happening with Dreams because they are genuinely interested. They just want it on their chosen platform.
No. Karsten Stack says, seems as if Interplay still holds the rights to Earthwormjim. Yes. Unfortunately, because I spoke with Doug Timpanel, the creator of Earthwormjim, and he split from the gaming side of Earthwormjim as an IP. So he's like, yeah, I don't even know what they're doing with it at this point. But yeah, they're not doing anything with it. I would love to see Media Molecule get their hands on something like that. Like, what's another game that comes to mind for you where you're like, you know what, that would fit perfectly in Dreams?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many options. There's so many games that would fit perfectly for Dreams. I'm trying to think of something old, like something that, like Earthwormjim, where you could revitalize it and give it a new, fresh start. I don't know. I'm going blank. There's a lot of options, though.
Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah. I'm still thinking.
I still have no idea. Like, I need to go back and play that game just to see if it makes more sense than it made to me when I was a kid. Because as a kid, I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in this game. Like, right off the jump. I was like, what am I... I'm running around this flat area. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. But it was like a one-night rental, so I didn't get a lot of time with it.
Yeah.
No, Battle Arena to Shinden. I just speak really fast. I take it serious. I see people streaming it and taking it serious every day. Yeah. Well, no person I talk to about says you can't really take it seriously as you can't make money from it. I guess I worded it wrong. I guess I meant to say professional tool.
Again, I would say it is a professional tool. I mean, look what you can create with it. It's no different than any other tool. It's just because you can't monetize it doesn't mean that the tool itself isn't professional, in my opinion.
Yeah. They've been really hush-hush every time someone asks them about how players can sell their own finished games, but I'm pretty sure they've said it's part of their long-term plan.
They have said it.
Yes, they have said it.
Oh, the eyebrows. The eyebrows.
Let's see here. It does sorta. Energy. What's going on? How you doing, man? So, you still haven't thought of your one that you would do?
No, I can't.
Nothing that has the same vigor as an Earthwormjim coming from me. Come on.
No, I mean that's a really good choice. Just like the way the game plays,
it is, isn't it?
art style, the fact that it's old and you could give it a new, fresh skin of life. Like everything about it it's a really good choice. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'll have to think about that one.
Okay, all right. Well, is there any other game that y'all can think of in chat? Blow me away. Just throw it out. First thing that comes to mind. old game you'd like to see remade in Dreams with working on it? Pitfall. Gold.
Oh, that's a good choice.
That's a game I would like to see even done in its original art style from like the first Pitfall. I would love to see that in Dreams. BioShock. What the? Good lord.
Let's get Media Molecule to buy the rights to Half-Life so we get a Half-Life 3. That'd be great. We'll
Past the
get
Paradox. One. Didn't somebody make a game that was like Lemmings recently in Dreams?
Did they?
I feel like I came across a Lemmings. Like, I think it was even described in its description. It was like Lemmings clone.
I haven't seen that personally.
Huh. But yeah. I mean, Lord knows. They could probably make those games in like a night. Not BioShock. Not BioShock. They couldn't make that in a night.
That'll take some time. They could do it, but it would take a while. They could do it.
Ninja says, I already know of a BioShock-style dream that's on hiatus from an designer. Ooh. Was that the one that was being worked on like when Dreams was still in beta? I feel like I know what you're talking about, but I could just be attaching it to an image in my head. I definitely wouldn't say, or Z-Boss says, I definitely wouldn't say this game isn't a professional way to make money or a career. I say this is the best way to do so if you are not used to PC. Will find the best creators and help them make a career. They are really good at them. Look how many people from the community in Little Big Planet that is now working for some company like Steve Big Guns. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention they hire direct from the community themselves.
Yeah. Huh. I still like that Pitfall.
Pitfall. Yeah, Pitfall's a good choice.
I would throw out something like Bayou Billy, but y'all probably don't know nothing about that.
Oh, I don't
the
know
NES. It's Nintendo, man. The original Nintendo, Bayou Billy. That was... I'm old. Jesus. And... that it's just the covers for Bayou Billy and all that stuff. You always maybe find like Arkanoff. Was that it? Arkanoff, the one with the like Russian. He looked like a dude who was like a mix between Russian and like Persian with baggy pants. And for some reason, he was fighting these crazy monsters. No, Zarkov. Is that what it is? Zarkov?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I just got it. I know what could pick up if earthwormjim is not available.
Okay.
Can you guess it? Can anyone guess it?
I don't know, but go on.
No, go ahead. You said you just.
I just thought of one though. Okami would be a great game, a great IP.
Okami?
To do in Dream.
They have a 4K release of that now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Oh, I've missed that. I remember it in the PS2 days.
Jet Yeti. You nailed it. Bonk's Adventure. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Got it. That's what you was actually going to say. Wow.
Bravo.
Well
Bonk's
done.
Adventure is another one I would love to see. Like, I think didn't they have 3 Bonks? Like, I love Bonk. I named my turtle after, but its name is Bonk. But yeah, if they could take like the existing Bonk games and remake them in Dreams, that would be amazing. So what we're basically saying is they need to have like I think they should have like a third party like licensing deal with like a few different people, not for their whole IP or whatever, but just like we're gonna make a game with this IP. I think that would be great. But Bonk's Adventure is exactly what I was thinking. I was gonna look up a picture to throw up, but Bonk's Adventure is amazing. I love that game. Let me see. So, are we done?
I think so. I mean, I think we've pretty much covered
Either,
everything scope-wise.
either that or somebody's going to have to throw up another topic. Let's have a quick Q&A for 5 minutes. Throw up something you want to ask us or ask our thoughts on. Meanwhile, let's go back to the fact that I really dislike, as we were talking about in the pre-show.
Oh, we're going back.
I have to go back. I have to go back.
Okay. All right. You're opening up a can of worms here, though. This could go on for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, I have to blow it out the box just because every time I get on this topic, it's hard for me to say. I've been thinking about the whole time we've been talking. Why do people, and I know the answer, it's because they want to see what the offerings are, especially for things like Disney where they have Star Wars and Marvel and blah, 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 blah. But it's just like, did Netflix not prove that people want like their format? After they pretty much killed TV and turned everybody into them, did they not prove that the old aspects of TV was dead?
You would think. The problem is all the higher ups that are managing these things are old people that don't understand modern way of living. So they're still hanging on tight to the old way of TV and thinking they can just do that in a digital way. It doesn't work. Netflix has proved to us that the way of film and TV and the way that we consume it has moved on to a new era.
See, but every time they get success, one would say that it's not proven. Because like I said, I'm a man that's all about the principality of the thing. So like well, my roommate has Disney Plus. When he first got Disney Plus, I was like, don't get Disney Plus. Now, he's one of the only people I know that actually gets use from it because of just the old stuff that they offer. Like, but even still, he's not on there all the time. And it's like, but every time HBO Max or Disney Plus, Hulu, anytime, which is still Disney, but every time that they get a subscriber, it's basically proving or disproving that Netflix killed TV. That's truly how I see it. Because they're not giving you anything but TV in a streaming format. The only one that says, hey, we're doing a show, here's the whole season. Watch it at your leisure, is Netflix. That's how they killed Blockbuster and TV. But now everybody's like, oh, Netflix doesn't have anything. And y'all don't know how much that bothers me. Because what you're saying, if you ever turn to someone and say, Netflix doesn't have anything, do you know what that says to me? That tells me you don't like movies. That's all that tells me. Because if you like movies and you watch them without being marketed to or over marketed to, as we were talking about the 12 new clips of She-Hulk that we see every day. It's like people need to be told what to like, what to look at. But if you like movies, if you actually like movies and watching things, you will not run out on Netflix. You just can't. Does that mean you're going to have to experiment? Yes. But we've all watched shows that were hyped up to us that we ended up not liking. It's just, yeah. So, Z-Boss said, I think, wait. Jet Yeti took he actually asked us a question.
Oh, okay.
He said, I am curious, what do you think is a way to get a non-dreamer to get interested into dreams if they have a professional background in other creative software?
Well,
I would, well, you go ahead first then. I feel like we're going to ask the same thing.
Okay, well, if someone is a professional in creative software, giving them the option to try what Dreams can do. Like, if you explain what Dreams is and what you can do with it and the way that you do what you do with Dreams, that's going to be enough for them to be enticed to want to try it. Because they're a creative person that does this professionally and have used the same tools for years and years and years, and they don't change much. And there is this new thing that does it in a whole different way. They're going to be totally interested straight away.
Does it in a whole different way and faster.
Speed.
I would say, hey, even if you don't think it's a professional tool, you can do in this, like, you can make whatever. Say they were like, hey, I want to pitch a game to the studio I work for as something we could possibly do. Well, you can get out that test, that demo, way faster. Way faster in Dreams than you can in anything else. I don't care how proficient you are.
Yeah, playable, cutscenes, everything. It's like 3 times quicker.
Yeah, give them the episodes of this podcast where we speak to professionals within the industry that just are like, yo, it's so much faster. I hate when I have to go use the industry standard now. That's how. They just don't know what they're missing. That's what I would say. Milo Artie, I hate movies. I can believe it. Because I can't experience them for the first time 12 times. You have to do what I do, man. You watch something and then you wait until you remember nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. And then you can rewatch it. But don't just bum rush through it like a bunch of times. Like, anyway.
Here's an interesting question for you, Will. What is that one movie that you can watch over and over and over again, like every day? Like, if you had to pick one film to watch every day for the rest of your life, what film would it be?
There's so many movies. See, this is hard for someone who actually enjoys movies.
I watch them daily.
Yeah, like I said, I watch everything. So, am I allowed to pick The Matrix, or are you going to make me pick something else?
No, you got to pick something else.
I got to pick something else?
No, because I knew The Matrix would be the one thing you'd choose. Pick something else.
Defending Your Life with Albert Brooks. One of the greatest movies ever made.
All right.
I've been trying to get people to watch. I've given tons of movie recommendations on this show, and still nobody's watched. Do you know how I know nobody's watched? Because you can't watch that movie and then not come back to me and say something. Defending Your Life, Albert Brooks. Watch it.
Right now.
Man, you whatever. You're the biggest perpetrator. You're the biggest perpetrator of what I'm talking about. You know how many movies I done given this man, and he just.
I know.
Ninja. So Disney's model is the hot new. No, it's not. It's not. It's not the hot new.
Let's just talk about that real quick, because this really is annoying me. Disney's new model is the current price that you're paying. You can still pay that price, but we're going to give you ads on top of it. Or you can give us an extra £4 a month to get rid of those ads. If you are paying for a service $8.99 a month, there should be no ads in there, full stop. You are paying a premium price for premium quality product. There should be no ads in any streaming service that you pay for. If you want to add an ad version that is free for people, that's completely fair. You get the content for free. In exchange, you watch their ads so they gain some revenue. But do not charge someone $8.99 a month for a streaming service that includes ads on everything you watch. It's disgusting.
And every time, because this is still what I've been saying, every time you subscribe to Disney Plus,
it solidifies what they're doing.
you're telling them, I want TV back. Because what he just described sounds like TV to me, doesn't it? Getting you an ad break?
Yeah, it's literally the digital version of TV.
I cannot give them money
Nope.
to make me watch TV again. I won't. And every person that does, I look down on you with judgmental eyes.
That's why, like, when streaming came in, the reason why it broke the industry and revolutionized media in the way we consume it is because it got rid of all the ad breaks. It got rid of all the annoyances with TV. You had it there. You could watch it when you want it. You didn't have to wait and schedule it in or put it on your TiVo to record it or anything because you're not going to be there when it goes on. That's why streaming has become king, because you can consume what you want when you want it. But adding ads into it is going back to the old style of media, and it's stupid. And I understand why they're doing it. They want more money. But there has to be a better way. You cannot charge someone $8.99 a month with ads included. It's disgusting. See, it's horrible.
Sinnock said, I dislike ads so much I paid for premium YouTube. I'm one of those. My sister, I am with you. I do not want to click on something to see them try to sell something else to me. But I've ranted about this on other podcasts in the past. I hate advertising. Like, I really hate it. Like, I would be very happy if it didn't exist. Like, if I'm into something, I'll know it's coming. That's basically it. If I'm into something, I'll know it's coming.
King, though.
You don't have to. No. I get why advertising exists. I understand exactly what the whole deal is. I know that it's ridiculous to say I want it all gone, but I do, because advertising has done a lot to ruin things, and I'm willing to make that trade. They should charge extra for ads so only idiots get ads. Speaking of ads, shout out to your mug. Can recommend. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Hey, let me see here. It. Let me see here, because I know I saw it. It was here somewhere. Wait. Merch. There we go.
Ray.
Yep, Sinnock got the mug. They didn't screw her. It'd make me have to be like, I must fix this. So
the logo is a little small, though. I think we need to adjust the sizings on our site so it goes a bit bigger.
I don't think people know that you can adjust everything.
Oh, can you? Oh, I didn't even know you could.
Yeah, there's a customize button on it. Now, I'm not sure, because I believe I set it at a higher one than that. But if you want one with a bigger logo, just let me know. I'll get it to you. All right? But yeah, you can do like the customize button on any design, and you can even move it around. Like, basically make the shirt yourself if you want.
Yeah, custom Made in Dreams podcast merch.
Yeah.
Can't get any better than that.
Just like, no, I'm saving that for the other podcast coming soon. Because like I said, guys, I've just been sitting here planning so much. Yeah. So, and with that, thank you again, Sinnock.
I appreciate it. So cool.
Yes, very appreciated. And as I tell people, it's not about the money, because I think for like each sale we get maybe like $3. I love to see people out there repping the merch, though.
Yeah,
repping the show.
It's
we
so
appreciate
humbling.
it. It really is.
Cool. Yeah, it's so cool to see people have it.
What have MM said about server updates? I missed on this a bit. Nothing. Only that they're acquiring scalable servers, and to benefit the future of Dreams.
We're taking that inch and we're making it 50 miles of what type of thing that might mean.
A deep Martian chasm, if you will. So, with that, it's the end of the show.
It is. We have
Thank
reached
you
the end.
for our first time chatters, people that have come in and done us proper. I really do
Come back
appreciate.
next week.
Come back next week. Don't you dare leave. Wait,
Yeah,
your
don't leave
question.
now.
Wait, what question? Wait,
Ooh,
was there a new question? I didn't see another one. Hold on. Go. Yes, they've got to keep all those new uploads somewhere.
Who asked the question? Jet Yeti.
Yeah, Jet Yeti asked. I'm scrolling back up. Let's see. Okay, it says, well, this isn't the question, but I hope this. It was following up his first one. It says, well, the thing is, I've told them about this as well, but the thing that happens is that they don't want to take the time to learn it. I know they don't always have the time, as they're only available for a short time after work. Also, I do ask them to try Dreams for like an hour or so, just once, but it does come back around that it's not an industry standard tool, and that's what he learns from. It can't be used anywhere. Like, the skills he learns in Dreams can't be used anywhere else. Once again, I disagree. We've had multiple people come on this show. Those who basically started with Dreams and now have jobs. Not only with
into the industry standard tools.
Yes, like so you can learn.
We had Felipe
Duarte.
Yeah, thank you. Like he did a whole thing in college, like with his students, and they used Dreams through the whole thing, and the experience from that and what they learned is transcribable. You can, not with everything, obviously, Dreams works in a very specific way with some of the tools, but for a lot of it, the basics of what you learn is transferable elsewhere.
And I do see I did miss another question, though. Zeba said, what do you think about Inception? For a movie that basically stole its plot from a DuckTales comic, it was really good.
I loved it. I have nothing bad to say about Inception. I think it's a top-tier film.
And if you think I'm lying, look it up. So
I believe you. I mean, you're the movie guy.
Yeah, this is a DuckTales comic.
All right.
So with that, yeah, we're out.
Who we rating?
I don't know. Who are we rating?
Who are we rating?
Let's see here. Who's online right now?
Take a look.
We have. Okay, it's not showing up. Drinkwater's online? What's the point? Is it Drinkwater 5,000?
Drinkwater 200.
200. Jesus Christ. There we go. Drinkwater. And we will let the raid count down. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. I might do another random Coffee with Vicious stream either tomorrow or Sunday morning, so keep your eye out for that. They're just random, where we talk about any and everything. We appreciate you. My last comment as well, you missed. I've also told him about people going into professional careers, but he says there's a rare expectation, and even if he did, it's not like, look, the dude just don't want to try it.
Yeah, he don't want to try it. Move on. Find someone else to try Dreams.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
I mean, it sounds less, because I always say, if someone's really interested, they just don't, if they're really interested, they'll try it. They'll dip their toe into it. If they see it as a waste of time, or they're not interested, like, yeah, I'm good where I am. That person's comfortable. Yeah.
Good, bro.
Let them do what they do. And with that, we out.
Bye.